Okay, this is going to be warming up for a rainy day. On a rainy day, on a rainy day. Get your chair, and some of you that have been on with me now, several of you are on, you've been doing this. So see, I'm sitting in my chair, okay? I'm just going to do some basic moves. Sit to stand, then I'm going to step. Then I'm going to go sit. I find where I'm sitting. Then I'm going to go stand. I'm not in a hurry. And then I tap. Okay? So I'm going to go sit to stand, step, tap. Find your chair, sit to stand, and then you're going to step up and tap. And you're going to step with the opposite leg. Hi, everybody coming on. It's a rainy day. A rainy day in Michigan, not Georgia, in Michigan. So that's what I'm going to say. How to get warmed up to lift on a rainy day. To get the motivation, you start in a chair, because that's where a lot of you want to stay, is in a chair, right? So I did a number of these just now, just to see how your movement patterns are going. Do you see how I leaned back? So I'm going to tuck my chin. Hi, everybody. I'm going to open until this starts to contract. Then I'm going to lift my knee, put my ankle on my knee, come forward. Open, drop your chin. You're going to feel your abdominal, your core contract. Go to your ankle, then come back in. So a number of those can start warming up your lower back. And you find yourself sitting and you're thinking, oh, I just don't feel like getting up. Well, if you will do several of these, see, just open back, let this start to contract, bring your knee up. See, bring your knee up. Whether or not you can cross it or not, it doesn't matter, okay? I mean, it's good if you can cross it. However, don't be going fast. Number one. Number two, put your hands under here if you need to, but then say rib cage up. See, I'm just barely putting my ankle right there over my knee. I'm dropping my chin. All this movement, this kind of hip hinging movement, forward movement, back, ankle to knee, and just be cautious when you bring that knee up. If I were with you as a trainer right here in your own little living room, I would be standing or kneeling right beside you. Because the minute you pulled your knee up, if I feel you rounding here instead of opening, then we have to stop and we have to do some re-education, okay? That move is what gets so many people in trouble. And you may think it was one little move that pulled your back out. Oh, I got news for you. It was hundreds and hundreds, thousands of moves that you did over the years incorrectly that started chipping away, okay? And then you keep having your birthdays, which is another factor, and then you pull your back. I'm doing a rainy day motivational warm-up, okay, into weight training. And it involves opening at the hip, closing at the hip, getting my back extensors a chance to warm up without stressing the discs, okay? Because I'm staying in neutral from my ear to my shoulder to my hip as I go forward, as I go back, and I hope you're doing this with me, okay? Take a breath, because sometimes on a day like this, and it does affect how you feel, you just don't feel like getting out of the chair. So when you stand and you shift and you put that foot up on that little pad, okay? And for me, I stack them, all right? Then I'm going to go sit to stand, other leg, steps up and down, and you're going to go sit to stand, and you're going to go up, tap, and you're going to go sit to stand, opposite, opposite, breath. And you know what happens? As you start giving yourself a chance to contract muscles gently, all the muscles that are involved in normal, everyday activities, and you do it repeatedly, you start to warm up. Okay, when you start to warm up, you start to get motivated to move. And if I tell you this on the get-go without you doing it and experiencing this, all we're doing is a sit to stand to step. And we're doing alternating steps. Sit to stand to step. And I stacked my two pads together and stepping. I'm doing it very slowly, very methodically, but I'm doing very functional patterning. Sit, stand, step, and tap. And sit, and stand, and step, and then tap your shoulder. We're going to do a couple more, okay? So when I say couple, you know, legally, that's my rules, a couple can be 2 to 20. Okay? Stay with me. I will get you there. All right? Don't make it complicated. Don't make it fast. Don't make it, you know, you have to, you know, get the music revved up and all that because you just don't feel like moving today. When it's dark, when it's rainy, many people want to just stay in bed. I have a program for that too. It's Carol's favorite for when you don't want to get out of bed. Exercising when you don't want to get out of bed. Okay, we just got a couple more here. Now, if you've been doing this whole pattern with me, sit, use your hands, that's okay, to stand, to step, and then tap. Here we go. Sit, to stand, opposite leg, tap. A couple more. Here we go. Sit to stand, step, and tap. Sit, to stand, to step, and back. Okay, if you've been doing this with me right now, I can tell you that your mindset has changed because you're starting to breathe deeper. Your muscles are starting to get warmed up. You're not doing anything super fast and jerky and all that. I'm trying to get you to stay in a good neutral spine pattern and function in a very functional, that means something you're doing every day and many times a day, which is sitting right here, standing right here, stepping right there, and then I'm tapping my hand across the chest, tapping my shoulder. So if you've been doing that, you're starting to feel the benefit because you're warming up, so much so that I have to turn my little fan on over my head. Now, I did the sit to stand with my chair. I'm going to move it over here. And I have a double pad here, okay? You don't have to. You can just do one pad. That's perfectly fine. What I'm going to start now, what I'm going to move to now, since we did a very functional warm-up, is I got my grocery bag. Okay, so whatever your bag is. Now, I lightened mine just a little bit just to get started. So So I took out, for instance, I took out a 5-pound weight and a 6-pound ball. Okay, so now I have my bag, my shopping bag. I have my double padded bench or step, and it's non-compromising. Okay, it's an uncompromising surface. It is very spongy. All right, so I'm going to step and come up. And do you see what I'm doing? I'm taking it from this side to this side. And I'm going to step up. But here's what I'm trying not to do. I'm trying not to do anything with flaring my elbow. This is heavy. And I'm just beginning my lifting phase of the workout. So I want my back, my shoulder, my legs, my hip, my core, my feet to all figure out, oh dear, she's loading. We got to make some changes here. Okay, so see how I'm just going from side to side? So I'm doing this in a unilateral way, one and then the other. Okay, switch, step, step, step back down, switch. Okay, keep your shoulders down, tummy in, keep your knees soft. And I'm going to step up and up. Okay, and when I step on that surface, if you do step up onto a pillow or a spongy surface and you're not ready for that, wow, it could throw you. This is why this is so good to do several times a week, because it keeps your whole proprioceptive systems ready for this type of surprise. I'll call it that, surprise. Okay, see how I'm stepping up? If you overbalance, if you underbalance, it's gonna throw you. So I'm saying don't go fast. That's number one. Step up. If you start to overbalance, underbalance, what's the first thing you do? Lower your center of gravity, drop your load. Okay? Lower your center of gravity, drop your load. That's the first thing you do. Then you will generally get back on target. All right? So now I went from this side to this side, correct? Several times. Okay? Now I'm going to take my bag. I'm going to put it right here in the middle. All right? And I'm going to hold it higher. Okay? This changes things. So when I go from here to here, it changes things. And what's in my bag is about 20 pounds right now. About 20 pounds. A little over. But I just pull it right up here. And it's right here in front of me. Okay? I'm going to put my foot into my pillow. I'm going to step up. Okay? Then I'm going to step down with that same foot. All right? Now I'm going to change. I'm going to find it. I'm going to step up. Okay? Then I'm going to step down with that same leg that I stepped up with. Okay, now hang on. This is back training at its best. Hold this right under your chin with your hands right here. Take a breath. It's pulling. You have to stay very, very extended when you do this step. So now take your other leg, come right up to the middle. Now step down with that same leg. Okay? Now switch. Step up, up, and step back down with that same leg. Take a breath. There you go. Up, step up, and step back down. Same leg. Okay, now switch. Up, step up, and then step back down. The same leg. I got two more of these. Step up, step back down, that same leg. Now, bring your weight right down to the pillow. Open your hands. Should have been getting pretty tired. Okay? Take a breath. All right. Hopefully you've got a really good sturdy cloth or canvas, or this is very heavy vinyl. Excuse me, my dogs are very barking. I'm going to put them back down. Take a breath. So I'm going to do that a couple more times, okay? I will stop the noise. A couple more times. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, how many times did you step? Did you think I left you? I told you I had to stop the noise. Ah, my dogs. Okay, here we go. So you did this, right? Right here. Pull. Right here. Pull. Right here. Take a breath. Pull. Go into your heels. So I'm right down here, and then I'm going to pull. And when I'm up here, right now, I'm coming out of the hinge, keeping my elbows close, keeping my chin tucked. I bring those arms right under my chin. Then I come right back down. Take a breath. Pull. Breath. Just two more. Pull. One more. And pull. Okay? Now, I'm going to put my carry right there. I want you to see what I'm going to do here. This is 5 pounds. Okay. This right here is 6. So now I just loaded 11 more pounds into my bag. Okay. So now when I come back to my bag, it's going to be 11 pounds heavier. Now I'm going to start with my free weights. So if you have free weights, then this is when you want to pick them up. Okie dokie. Just pick those suckers up. What am I picking up? I'm picking up, for me, a lightweight. So I'm going to step my foot right in the middle of my pillow or my discs. All right. And I'm going to bring both hands together because these are light weights. So even though these are light weights, this is 6 and 6 for me. A lightweight for you could be anywhere from 1 pound to 6 pounds. I don't like you to go over 6 pounds much, okay? Because we're going to do some moves with these weights because they're light that I wouldn't necessarily do with really heavy weights. I could do this one pretty well, but I want to do a few of the ones that we're going to do as a pre-work, okay? Just to kind of get your muscles into it and your form. So right now, while you're waiting for the next move here, just bend slightly forward and just glance at your foot. Some of you have your foot turned out like that, like a duck. Try not to do that. Try to pull it forward. If you need to go wider for balance, go wider. But keep the toe forward, okay? Now I'm going to take the same, I'm going to use bilateral pulls, okay? Then I'm going to push out and around. So let's get that one really solid. I'm leaning into the front. So that means these muscles right here, these muscles are taking a lion's share of this move. Especially keep your toe forward. It shouldn't be turned out. If it's turned out a tiny bit, that's one thing, but not turned out like a dick. But now I'm going to lean in. So when you lean in, you should be feeling this right here. And I'm going to go pull, just like I'm pulling in. And then I'm going to go down and make a rounded motion. So it's going to go pull back, get those elbows back, take a breath, soften both knees. Then you do that big round motion. Pull back, okay? So I'm capitalizing on motions that are very functional. I mean, at least this used to be functional, okay? For a lot of different work-related motions. It still is in many sports, rowing, kayaking, you know, so it used to be very functional in doing a lot of different types of work. But right now, we have to put this forward spin and put those weights all the way around. But you see, as I'm doing this, I don't know if you're catching this or not, but my knee is well back of my toes. They're in line with the ankle for the most part. So pull back, tight tummy, soften your knees, and then just like you're heaving something way out in front of you. So it's going to be pull, okay? Now you bend your knees, and back, okay? So you wouldn't necessarily do this motion with a heavier weight, which is why I chose a lighter weight in order to do this. But those people with shoulder issues, this one should, in a lightweight, be okay for them to do. So they keep their hands down and they don't come up past the shoulders in order to do that move, okay? All the way around, boom. All the way around, boom. All the way around, boom. Just one more, duh. Okay, take a breath. Put your weights on your little pillow. Open your hands. Close them and open them. Close them and open them. The foot that was on the pillow, turn it out, okay? But when you turn it out, keep soft in your knees, okay? Keep nice and soft. Drop your shoulders and just go across and across. See, I'm just keeping this toe turned out. This knee is bent. This foot is straight on. Cross and cross. Cross and cross. Just like that. It's a nice inner set. All right? Take a big breath. Because, yes, I'm feeling much more heightened usage of my leg when it's up on the bench because it's up higher, right? So it's going to be, I'm going to feel more tension, all right? But you can do this on the floor. You don't even have to have it on a pillow, okay? So I hope you know that, all right? I'm not assuming that you know that. Okay, now I'm going to go. Now I've done that little inner set. Put my other leg up there, okay? So whichever one, is in back, now it's in front. When I do that, when I put that foot up there, I want to make sure that my foot in the back is not turned out right now, okay? So now here's my second set with light weight in a rowing action. I'm going to come back here, and then when I do pitch forward, I'm going to be very, very controlled. I hope you're hearing me, okay? So I'm taking a big breath. How do you stay in control? You drop your shoulders. You say rib cage up. You soften your knees, okay? That's going to make you use your muscles. Here we go, back here. Then I go out and right there. Man, you should be feeling that in your whole core, in your front gluteal, right here, your front quadricep, meaning your thigh, a little bit of your hamstring. So this is a really good one to gently get your hamstring to innervate just a little, okay? So this isn't going to be a lot, but a little. That's why it's a good one to do, because it's very functional. And what are hamstrings? They're very functional. You couldn't go down a stair if you didn't have hamstrings working. Breath, your quads work mostly coming up like this, but your hamstrings have to put on the brakes. Yeah, take a breath. Don't go fast. I know you want to do it real fast and get over with it. Well, don't do it that way. Pull those elbows back, take a breath, set yourself, drop your shoulders, then go out. See, if you just stand here and just do this, you're not going to engage the core. I really want you to get down there. I want you to pull back. I want you to really feel that coming around. Take a breath. Take a breath. I'm telling you, the difference in how you use your muscles and the positive benefits for your back and all your joints is so different. If you just do slinging motions and you're not fully engaged and hanging on to this move, it's very different. Take a breath. So I'm going to bring it around. I got 2 more. Here we go. Breath. 1 more. Bring it around. Nice. Okay. So I got 1 more big move to do with light weights. All right. So right now, I'm going to step up on my little pillow. And those of you who are stepping on a pillow, you can choose to just step on the floor. If today is kind of a low level day for you and you're like doing good just to get on here, then make sure that you just do it on the floor. See, I can just do it here. Perfectly fine. Okay? Step up on that if you want to. Double it up if you can and if you want to. So I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to open them. Okay? Just like that. And then I'm going to act like I'm going to pour a can of, what should we pour a can of something out? Let's pour a can of pop right down the drain, because we don't want to drink that. Okay? Take a breath. If that's your choice, you can choose to or not to. Take a breath. See how I'm sinking? So rib cage up, hip hinge, and then I'm going to go just like that, but I'm not going to extend my arm, okay? I'm just doing it a few times and come back. Then I'm going to bring it right here to my hips where I hinge, right to the front of the hips. See that? Then I'm going to go to my shoulders, to my hips. My shoulders are down. I'm in a hip hinge motion. This is light weights for me. So I'm doing them both together. Okay. Now we're going to do some of these moves in just a minute with heavier weights. So this is one that you could go heavier if you wanted to, and you felt like you need a little more weight. That's fine. But we're doing it together. So that means from right here, where they're resting on my hip, right where the hip bends, get my elbows in, bring it to the front of the shoulder, bring her down. So it's a up and it's a down. It's an up and it's a down. Take a breath, 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 breath. Yes. Big breath. Go. Big breath. Go. Hang on with me. Hang on, make sure you're doing a hip hinge. Keep your chin tucked, rib cage up. Just 2 more, just 2 more, just 2 more. This is a 45-degree angle pull, curl, okay? And put them down, Okay, I'm going to go right over here. I'm going to put my weight in my blocks. Okay, I'm going to go up 1. So I'm not going to pick them up yet. So I went up 1. So now I'm going to pick up 9 pounds. Okay, so these increased by 3 pounds. Okie dokie. Okay, I told you that I put 11 more pounds in my bag, correct? So now I'm going to drag that sucker off the ground and stand up. Now, no problem on the ground. But when I raise myself even 2 inches, and most of you have a 2-inch block or a 2-inch pillow. So now I'm up 4 inches. So I'm going to choke down on my bag and I'm going to grab it. I'm going to push into the heels and I'm going to bring it up. Okay. Then I'm going to go back down, put it all the way to the floor. Then I'm going to pull, bring it up. So I'm doing this lift with 35 pounds. So it could be a kettlebell. It could be your heaviest weight that you're grabbing. Whatever your grocery bag is that you filled with all your goodies. Okay. Take a breath. And if you need help filling your little bag, well, I'll give you some great ideas. Try putting a kid in there. That would be a good one. Okay, heels, pull them right into your solar plexus. Bring them right down. Go into your heels. Keep your chin tucked. Pull. Come back down. Take a breath. Pull. Back down. Here we go. Pull. Back down. I just got a couple more. Just a couple more. Okay. All right. I'll tell you. 3. We have 3 more. Here we go. Pull. Breath. Stay with me. Stay with me. Make sure you're pushing your butt back. Heels. One more. Breath. And back down. Okay. Now I'm going to step off my little pillow. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one of them. And I'm going to move my little bag over here. Okay. So it's out of the way. Now I'm going to turn my chair like I had it to begin with. So now let's just test it out. Sit. So most of you came on when I was going over this. Use your hands if you need to. But now, since we're in the weight training section, if you can, lean in, push into your widest shoulders or a little more than wide than shoulders, and use your hands out here, okay? Drop your shoulders, here we go, into the heels, push into the heels and come up, okay? Then you're gonna go step, and then you're gonna come down, and you're gonna go into the chair. Now this should be right here so that you don't do a lot of drifting. I do not want anybody to go to sit down in their chair, they've drifted forward, okay? So think about that. Here we go, take a breath. Heels, see? Keep your chin tucked. And then I'm gonna just step. And then I'm gonna come back down. I'm gonna turn my whole body and look. See, I didn't crane my neck. Do you notice that? I turned, it's right there. So that you don't have that little panicky feeling. You can also look between the legs. Okay, that's another choice. To make sure your chair's there. You know how we like to just make sure it's there, right? Take a breath. Here we go. I'm going to come right here. I'm really pushing into my heels. Step up, curl, back, step, and sit. So it's a sit to stand. It's a step, curl, look under, make sure your chair is right under you, and have a seat. Now, why am I having you do this? I want you to make sure that you know your distances, okay? Take a breath, drop your shoulders. We are going to go pick up our 9-pound weights. I'm going to. So I have 9 pounds and 9 pounds, okay? So here I go, tight tummy, drop your shoulders. Woo, right there. I'm going to come over here, grab my 9, okay? Take a breath. And I'm right here, all right? So again, when you don't feel like doing something, like working out, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to take a break today. Every one of us feel like that on a rainy day, y'all. But you keep your movements very simple and very normative. So see, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to sit. I'm going to come right up here. I'm not doing anything with my weights. I'm keeping them right here. Right there. See, it's a sit to stand. And it's an up and back down. Breath. Okay? So I'm keeping my weights right here for right now. All right? Stay with me. Take a breath. Get your feet correct. Come in here. Now go to your heels. Heels and up. Squeeze your butt. Go back down. Keep your chin tucked. Yeah? Shoulders down. Yeah. Take a breath. Shoulders down. Here we go. Lean in. Don't use that little momentum swingy thing. I know what you do. Because on rainy days, you know about slugs. They come out in the droves. So I know you want to be a slug, but don't do that little momentum rock, okay? If you need to use your hands, use your hands. Don't even worry about the weight. Take a breath. Come in and up. See that? And come back down and come back down, okay? Now we're going to use the weights in our hands. So they're going to be right here. And I'm going to keep my shoulders down. When I come up just like that. I bring them up. I bring them open. I come to my ears. I come in and I come back down. And I look underneath, or I turn and look to make sure that I didn't drift, meaning I shifted too far forward, and then when I go sit down, the chair's not there. So who moved? You moved. That happens. Okay, are you ready? Bring it right out here. Take a breath. You're going to come up. So I'm lifting my whole body weight and plus 18 pounds. Bring it back in. It's an up. See, this is a hinge movement. Then I go just to the top of my ears. Then I come right to my shoulders. In, out, just to the top of my ears. Keep your shoulders down. Come down. Hinge. Open. Right there. Right here. Hinge. Open. Soften your knees. Bring them hinge. Open to the top of the ears. Drop. Hinge. Open. You always hinge at the lower level. Then you come just to the top of the ears. Then you come down. Then you hinge. Keep your tummy super tight. Squeeze your butt. Right there. Right here. Right there. Right there. In. Out. Right there. Right there. Hinge. Open. Right there. Right there. And bring them down. I know. I hear the whining. I do. I do. Just remember, it hurts me more than you. Kathy wants to break her computer right now. Okay, bring it right back down. Sorry, Kath. I have to get a few corny things. Okay. Okay, we're going to go right back to an interset that we put in the beginning of the workout in a warm-up. Are you ready? We did some straight up downs with weights, stressing the front, the back, right? Let's recover. Sit to the front of your chair. Open back. Right here. But what's going on here? So don't curl or flex that back, okay? Drop your shoulders. Bring your ankle right over the knee, and then bring it down. Come forward. See, no weights. Open back. Tighten. Drop your shoulders. Drop your chin. Lift the knee. If you want to, you can help it over there. See, I'm getting that little bit of cross body, cross the midline. A little, just for recovery. Okay, take a breath. Drop your shoulders, open. You feel it? Bring the knee up. If you can, cross that ankle over the knee, then come back and come down. One more. Here we go. Open, drop your shoulders, bring the knee up, bring it over, see? And then bring it back down. Nice. Take a breath. Now we got pretty heavy weights here. I'm going to capitalize on some stuff that I did the other day. Okay? Just a little thread of continuity. A lot of different moves. These are 9 pounds that I have. So you should have what is considered medium weight for you. Okay? Not the lightest, not the heaviest, a medium weight. So my medium is 12, 9, maybe 15. Then I'm getting into heavy. Okay? All right. Here we go. Take a breath. Picked up one, picked up the other. What am I doing? I am merely going to let that weight go down the side of the chair. Okay? Not very much. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Go to the other side. So all you're trying to do is bring your armpit to your hip bone. That is very different than scrunching like this and going like that. This is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm closing the distance between my armpit and the top of my hip bone. Okay? So it's a very different move. And it's one that many of you who have delicate backs, you do this carefully, especially we have a weight load here. And don't think that every move that you do to benefit you has to like be so heavy or just like kill you. No, remember this is a rainy day workout. So I'm doing some stuff that's not only gonna stimulate your muscle, but it's gonna feel pretty good, okay? When you do this move correctly, especially if you have it weighted, it can relieve a lot of pain in your back, okay? So make sure you're not turning. Make sure you're not twisting like this in order to do this, or rounding your back to come down. That is not what this move is. So I hope you're getting that, okay? So I wanted to revisit this. Some of you might have even felt, you might have wondered, well, why is that deep muscle in my back feeling funny, like it's sore? maybe it was last week's workout. Woo! Okay. Take a breath. All right. Now I'm going to bring these here. I'm going to stand up with 18 pounds. Okay. That's a toddler weight. For my kids, it was when they were babies. They weighed about that much. You think I joke? I'm joking? I'm not. My babies were 10 pounds when they came out. I didn't get to use newborn clothes. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Here. Now really don't hold your breath. Take a breath. Exhale. Push into the heels and you're up. Then you're going to step up, okay? Step down, step down. Don't sit yet. Step up, step up. Step down, step down. Step up, step up. Step down. It's going to throw you. Be ready for it. Drop your shoulders. Keep your knees soft. Many of you, when you start to step up, you lock your knee. You don't even know you do it. but you do it, okay? Then when I go and I put this curl on a step up, now we've complicated it even further. So don't step on the edge. Step in the middle. Curl. I'm stepping, curling with the opposite arm. Stepping, curling. Okay, stepping, curling. Now we're going to hang on to it. Bring it right there and just do a little punch. Bring it right there and punch. Take a breath, punch. Take a breath, punch. Keep your shoulders down. Punch. Breath. See, this is a very functional move, isn't it? Most days, don't you want to punch somebody out? But you don't. You come on here and you just do that little activity, and then you don't feel like it anymore because you're too tired. Here we go. Keep your shoulder down. See, whenever I punch out with this kind of weight, I'm not doing it fast. I'm just placing it out there in front of me. I'm stepping on my very spongy pillow disc. Keep my shoulders level. But here's the deal. Some of you are doing this, and when you punch, you open your armpit. Trainer's tip, don't do that. Keep your armpit shut. You won't hurt your shoulder. And you will get better grip. You will get better strength in your shoulders and your whole arm, whole shoulder girdle. If you'll keep your armpits closed. See this? I'm not punching out in front of me. It cannot hurt my shoulder this way. It just is hard work. Breath, one more. And back down. Nice. Okay. I'm going to take the 9-pounders, put them in the holster, and then I'm going to go up to 12. Okay. So now I have 12-pound weights that I'm going to pick up. All right. So I started this whole session off with some very normal functional moves that we warmed up with. So I have my 12-pounders ready to go, but I'm going to review. See this? I did this, sit to stand, and then what did I do? I stepped up and tapped. And then I sat to stand, stepped up, tapped. So I have a lot of cross-body things going on to get my brain going, number one. Number two, then I started gently loading, okay? This move that we did, now I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm going to turn around here to my chair so as not to get too complicated on this rainy day, because my slugs get foggy on a rainy day. I understand that. So I'm not going to use my little pad here, but this movement that I had you do so much of, now we're going to take that movement through our leg and we're going to combine it with tap and then tap lift. Okay? Now I'm going to have some pretty big weights that I'm going to be hanging on to. So you get to hang on to whatever weight, but when you, let me caution you, when you go to putting your foot up on a chair, let's say it gets stuck, whatever, you rake it funny, whatever, you got weights, okay, and you're on one leg, okay, that's taking risks, right? You can do this whole thing just tapping. That's perfectly fine. You can do this on your little pillow and then go here and lift, okay? Because you're not going to fall nearly as far if you're just tapping on that one. But if you're up here and you get stuck, that can be scary, correct? So I'm giving you cautions. I'm giving you modifications. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up my 12s, all right? Now my whole body has to hang on to these 12s. So if I want my spine to benefit, I'm going to go tap. I'm going to bring it down, tap, and I'm going to hold them right here, and I'm going to go lift. Okay? So I'm going to bring it back. My knee is soft. I'm going to go from here to here on the chair. Then I'm going to go down, and I'm going to come here to the front, and I'm going to go lift. So right there, when you're lifting and you're holding on to these weights, your back extensors are really working, okay? But it's gentle. So this is a great move. So I'm going to do 2, 3, 4 on one side. Then I'm going to go to the other side, okay? Are you ready? Take a breath. Bring it up. Shoulders are down. Chin is tucked. Knees are soft. Bring it off the chair. Bring it back. And get ready to lift. Bring it up. Tap. Try to straighten up. See, I tried to overlean on one side, so I'm straightening up. Bring it down. And go lift. One more. Bring it up. Bring it back. Tap. Lift. And then come back to solid legs, both legs. Are you ready? Switch. We're going to do 2 sets on both sides. And we only did 3. But we should be pretty weighted right now. Okay? So I'm going to go lift. This is my other leg. Bring it all the way down. Bend your knee. Come here. Okay, get ready. The heel's going to come up. Breath. And come back. Right to the tap. So everything that moves with your spine is through the hip. I mean, that didn't make sense. The way I want you to bend is through the hip, not with making your spine move all over the place. Your spine should be in neutral position the whole time. Okay, that was, I think, 3. Okay. Shift to the other side. For me, I want to shift way too much. So try not to do that. And how do you not do that? You can be up against a wall. See, I could have your shoulder on a wall here or something like that. Okay, take a breath. I'm going to bring it up. Okay, I'm going to bring it all the way back and bring those weights forward and lift. And then I'm going to come back up. Take a breath. Bring it back down. And get ready. Lift. One more. Here we go. Up. Back down. Lift. And come back in. Yay. Okay. Back to home base. So what's home base? Watch this. Push that butt back. Drop your chin. Go down. And I have my hands right here. I have 12 and 12. So I'm doing this with 24 pounds. So I'm going to keep my hands right here. See with my weights. Then I'm going to go into this hip hinge. Then I'm going to come up and up. Let me tell you, this move, especially when you pick up heavy weights, it uses everything. It uses your legs, your feet, your core, your shoulders. It's excellent to do. It's just that, I'm trying to make it so that it's tolerable, okay, on a rainy day. Okay, here we go. Ready? Push, and you're up. Squeeze tight, all right? Now I'm going to just stay here, and I'm not going to use the chair. The chair will be there if I need it, but I'm going to go down into my squat. I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to hover or hoover or whatever over that chair, and then I'm going to come back up, okay? So this is world traveling training, and if I need to explain that to you, I'm going to have you call Kay, because she knows. Go into your heels, hover, hoover, don't touch, hold on, hold on, hold on. Get your butt lower, but don't go down to the chair. Breath, and come back up. One more time. Take a breath. Some of you are holding your breath. Don't do that. Okay? Hip hinge, down, all the way down. Hover again over your chair. Don't sit, don't sit, don't sit. Stay in your heels. Breath, 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 breath. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, nice. Okay. Put your weights back in your little holsters. So we made it to 12, but my carry, I was way over. I was almost to 40 pounds on my carry, my bag, okay? So we're going to cool down here just for a second. All right, positionally. So I'm just gonna take a walk, see that? And then I'm just gonna do my pendulum, okay? Remind me, I'll need to do this again on Wednesday because I think today Marilyn isn't with us live and she likes this move. This is a very good move for us to do every day. Stepping wide, toes forward. You can separate if you want to. If you want to make this more challenging for your balance, bring one toe in line with the heel. You don't have to touch it, but bring it in line with the heel of the front foot. You don't have to do that, but it's going to be much more challenging as far as the balance goes. Your knees should be soft. Then I'm going to step back. Then I'm going to step forward again. I'm going to bring my back foot in line with my front foot, soften my knees, and I'm going to just do my little pendulum swing. Keep your knees soft, keep on those feet, take a big breath, back and forth, and then I'm going to bring those hands up, just like that. I'm going to go into a W. I'm going to see just how I'm doing with that forward head, forward rounded shoulder issue that many of us struggle with, okay? See how I just turned it? I'm in my T. Okay, turn it back and bring it back into the W. See that? Then today, several times, anytime you walk through a door, you can do both hands on the frames, or you can do one and just drop your shoulder and then pull out. See how I'm just really opening this? Take a breath. Then I'm going to bring it back. Then I'm going to do this one. Pull out. Take a big breath. Let it stretch. And bring it back down. Shake out, shake out, shake out, shake out. That should feel really good for those of you with shoulder or forward head problems, neck problems. That's your assignment to do every time you walk through a door. Drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy, and just pull through. Okay? That's going to help you to not have a lot of pain